Welcome to Ego Netcast. I am Martin Lindeskog, and today I'm talking to Maria Dolores. Hi, Maria.
Hi, Martin. How are you doing?
Fine. Yourself?
Oh, really good.
Yeah? Great.
Yeah.
I'm starting out reading from your Twitter profile here. Eva Maria Dolores, a speaker and social entrepreneur. My passion is to inspire individual health, leadership, and thinking world. A more human world. Some call me Scandinavian Muse. And located in Stockholm. And site here is Eva Maria Dolores. Joined Twitter 2009. And you are following 271 tweets. And you have a following of 162 at the moment.
Yeah.
And I saw when I was starting the recording here that you tagged me on Facebook. We met at the book fair in Gothenburg, Sweden.
Yeah.
So, what's up? What are you doing at the moment? With work, projects, and hobbies, maybe?
Well, with work, I am like I write and that I communicate about both on Twitter and Facebook and some also on LinkedIn, is that my passion is really to talk about that we have human rights, but we also, as humans, have human obligations and we have human responsibilities. And, the UN Constitution or the UN Proclamation for Human Rights is between the state and the individual. What I talk about is about an interpersonal perspective of that, is beyond religion, beyond land borders, beyond block politics, and we're all human. So if we have rights as humans, then we should have responsibilities as well. And it's fun because I communicate and I talk to a lot of things and people in my network, professors and human rights advocates, and they all agree about this. It's really about a leadership for citizens. And I'm now starting up my different kind of projects and a foundation for this. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I really love my life. Now I love my life.
Great to hear. And it has a sassy name also, this project, right?
Yeah. It's a sassy team. I'm building with sassy young women, and they have their different roles and different personalities, I'd say, and come from different aspects in the society, like media sassy or the business sassy or so they have different profiles, and it's or yoga sassy. Yeah, they're fun. They're a lot of fun. Yeah,
sounds great. Will this be only online, or will it be offline activities also? Is it kind of?
It will be both. It will be really both. We will have activities, both a platform on the net. My vision really, Martin, is to build an oasis. Yeah, because I'm so tired of this hostile, this hot, and this media environment that we are in. It's a desert, really. It's volative and it's not friendly. There's no listening, and there's a lot of drama going on. And what I want to contribute to is an oasis where the water is the foundation of human rights and human responsibilities, but from that, a lot of different creative, projects and platforms. And so, yes, one platform is on the net, but other platforms will be in form of conferences or different tour, a tour, and many different things, and TV networks, and we'll have fun. We have lots of fun.
Good. And
inspiring.
Great. We talked about that on the phone, about the project that I got to know about. It didn't, materialized, but it was a great idea. And it was Brent Leary that is doing podcast interviews on small business trends, and he's a social CRM expert. And he was giving the question if he wanted to be on a road tour with a bus and talking CRM stuff and social CRM and things about how you could build your customer relations in a positive way. So you could do it in a fun way with business activities, and that could be also a leading question. How do you manage all these kind of things and activities? How do you coordinate when you have this idea in mind and you have had it for a long time and you want to introduce others to it, and they will find their different roles, like division of labor. How do you do that during the day and forward?
Well, actually, it's true what you're saying, because I have had a long journey with doubts of myself and of what I want to contribute with, but I landed in just the realization that we all contribute the best from our best ability, and I can only contribute as good as I can to my life and my dedication. And so now it's something in me just shifted. I've had a great mentor, and something in me shifted and just I realized that I'm sitting in this, metaphorically, a car, and the engine is now running, and I have such a great network and people who believes in me, and so it's really just to do it step by step, and
That's great. If you would meet somebody in the street or somebody at the mingle, and you taking this elevator, as you say, this pitch, what would you say to them? To be interested, to be like a visitor, to be maybe a customer in some sort, or a contributor to the site and the other activities? What would you call them to know about Sassy in a short sentence or two? What is your dream and vision that it will evolve to?
Well, the vision is really to have this oasis, this place. I'm building. I'm funding, and I'm building together with many other people this oasis of tranquility, of calmness, of dialogue and listening, and a platform for people to be inspired and to grow in all life's different aspects, both on individuals, but with a drive of fun, not and to inspire.
Great. I also gave a tip. I'm a moderator for a site called Beastssugar, and it's like a forum and a bookmarking site. So there you could get inspiration for your entrepreneurial life and as a small business owner, and if you have a business idea, and you could contribute with your own blog post, and also if you have read something interesting on the net in English. So maybe that could be an element of it, that you have an exchange there of ideas and things regarding this oasis, as you said. And a very short, you could say, talk about the water there, the different elements of that. Will that be like a kind of manifesto or in this site and so on?
First of all, I really like Beastssugar. I love both the idea and the word. Yeah, I do. And then the platform that I'm forming is it's like I said, it's 7 principles about that we do have human rights, but we also have human obligations, and it's a 2-sided coin. It's like 7 coins, and 2 sides of each coin. And so you have the rights and the responsibility for your body. You have rights and responsibilities for your thoughts, for your emotions, for your way of communicate, the freedom of expression, but also the responsibility to listen. And you have the rights and the responsibility when you're in your freedom of movement, and you have the rights and responsibilities in your life. Just, you have the right to your life, but you also have the obligation to respect others' life. And then the 7th principle is the collective. As a collective, as a collective humanity, we have had this history of 200,000 years of development, and in each technology shift, we have different perspective. We widen perspective of how we look at ourselves and how we perceive others. And right now we're standing in this nation-centric thinking, and we have the technology that both supports and drives us into the global area, and it's really the coming, what I see, the coming 100 years is really how we will handle and how we will make this shift from nation-centric thinking to a global world.
And in the book that you gave me at the book fair, you talk about how do you say, a concept that is the name is from Tolkien, Istima?
Istima. Well, it's people talk about crisis, right? And crisis is a negative word. Istima is really the whole process. It's not just we're going down into a crisis, but Istima is the concept of change. So, Istima on a personal level is the feelings of fear, anger, hatred, frustration, sadness, all of these emotions. And Istima is it. The word itself means learning. It's like I said, it's from a fictive language, but Estima is the understanding of whenever you are in grief, anger, frustration, sadness, it's part of your development. It's part of your learning as a human being. It's very, very, very human. So it's just that you have a perspective of life and the acceptance of that perspective, completely embracing that, making peace with that, and then seeing and going through that feeling, the feeling of when you're stuck. So Istima is both sort of going down, but also the awareness of what you were experiencing. And Istima is on all levels. As Istima we have personal isthmus, and then, I've been working with human resources and organization development and leadership for about 15 years. So I saw a lot of isthma in groups, and when we were working with organizational change, and it's really how to see an acceptance of the process, and it's just the same but in a larger perspective. It's also the society changes that we are in now, and the isthma in the culture, the fear and the thought, or the thought that creates fear of that we are feeling invaded, and all the movements in the world, and refugees, and people in financial crisis, and war, that are creating turmoil, and is part of the global isthma.
Yes, it's a big thing there and concept, and fascinating in a way and scary maybe at the same time. Do you want to share a personal thing about how have you handled it in a way, and also, as we had the discussion before the interview here, how you should work with it?
Yeah, I've had I would say I've had 3 major isthmas. The first isthma was on a body level. When I gave birth to my daughter, I really, really thought that I was going to die. It was a feeling of, going in 2 pieces, and really embracing and breathing in the fear, acceptance of the fear, and breathing in death fear, which gave me more strength. That was on the first level. On the second level was 5 or 6 years ago now, when my mother died. She died in blood cancer. She was in Florida. And when we found out, the doctor said that she might have 2 years left, but she only had 1 year after we first found out. And during that year, my mom and I, we had time. I felt that we had time to have closure and to make peace, and a good it might sound strange, but it was a way to I'm glad she didn't die in a car accident, like, very quick, but we had time to have closure. And so, because that was our our process. and then I also had the opportunity to be with her when she died, and that was also nice closure to I played some music for her. She died in Sarasota in Florida, and I played some nice music, and me and the nurse got her ready for and then she left her body. It was just like a sigh. It was really, really beautiful. 2 days after that, the day after, I felt very numb in my body. It was like a system shut down almost. I felt very numb, and I was just doing different routine things. I also thanked the doctor, because I know he did everything he could in his power to help her and support her, and I really appreciated that. And then 2 days after, I dove down into isthma, I just said to the people around me that I'm sorry, I just need to be alone right now. And I went into a bedroom and I closed the door, and I was breathing emotions fast. I was yelling and shouting, and I hit a pillow, and then I cried, and I cried like, as like a cartoon, like it was just pouring, and then I got mad again, and it was like a turmoil. If you think of like a water, what do you have when you
like a waterfall?
Like a turmoil going, like from trembling down, like a whirlpool.
Yep.
So it was like a whirlpool, where I was, going through and experiencing and fully embracing all of these emotions, crying, screaming, shouting, and then back again, crying. And then in the middle of everything, I also laughed because it was really like, oh my God, I'm going really crazy now. and I embraced that because I knew there's a bottom to this. Because I've had some really good training in this. And so I was going in this turbulence all the way. And then it I don't know for how long I did this, but it was quite a while. And then I just finished. I just sat on the floor, and I was completely drained and completely free from all these emotions, and really accepting and free. So that was the second experience of my Estimize. And the third was in 2013 when I divorced my husband. He didn't want a divorce, and it got his sadness of the divorce came out in a very destructive way, and he followed me, and I felt he knew exactly where I was, what I was doing, and who I was seeing, and what I was eating and drinking, and everything about me. And I shut everything down more and more because I didn't trust anyone. I didn't trust my friends, so I shut out my friends, and I didn't trust the technology, and so I stopped communicating, and my family turned against me, and I didn't have anywhere to live. I had like a mattress on the floor and a few boxes in the room, but really isolated. And every other week I was with my daughter, but other than that, I didn't have much contact with people, and I was really, really just scared. But I got out of that with, first of all, a woman who called me, and she said, I've heard about you, and I want to hear your side of the story. And I told her, and she said, I believe you. And when I didn't even believe myself, nobody believed me, and I didn't believe myself. To have someone to reach out their hand in that way that she did, that was a great turning point for me. So that was the first turning point. And then the second turning point was also to have acupuncture, because my body, my entire body was really in a chemical state of fear. So it was not all mental, but it was really, I could almost feel it in my body, and so acupuncture really helped me. So first someone who believed me, and then acupuncture, and then I got a great coach who supported me and could help me to twist and turn all these thoughts that I had about myself and that I have about the world, and to questioning the thoughts. So yeah, Istima, and what all these three Istima has taught me. The first Istima is really to fully embrace the body and to live with the breath. To breathe and to embrace. And then emotional breathing is also important. We are humans. We have feelings. We have the right to all the feelings we have. But we also have the responsibility to hold our feelings, not to burst out our feelings onto others, but to take responsibility for our feelings. And with my ex-husband, the most important learning for me, that was a lot of learning, but the most important is that we have the right as humans to our body, our thoughts, our feelings. We have the right to communicate. We have the right to move, and we have the right to our life, but we also have responsibilities. And as a collective, it's important with the civil courage, or moral courage, as they say in. But the Swedish word is civil courage, which I think is really good, because it's really about standing up for both for ourselves, but also when we see others in suffering.
So I will try to do a segue and a link here to the book fair where we met at the booth. And because as a rugged and staunch individualist, when you say the word collective, I of course react. But when you say about civil courage and to do it in a good way, like humans, is good. And I was doing social media activities for a non-for-profit NGO organization called Civil Defense, if you translate it, here in Gothenburg. Like, what would you do if in 72 hours, if something happened with electricity, water, whatever, and we have this Istima fretting picture, you could say, from all kind of angles, but also how you could do here on your personal level to be prepared. So it's interesting to see, and a lot of things was going on at that book fair. The topic was printing rights that have been for was it 200 years or 250 years in Sweden, and also publishing and freedom of speech. And it was interesting because it was a huge debate there, because it was one of exhibitors and that had booked a booth that had, according to my view, against individuals and their collective, and they are a very dark element, but still it's freedom of speech, so they let them be there, because it was other at that booth and book fair that I don't agree with, and also against freedom of speech themselves. But it was interesting to see how it played out. And we did a thing about it, because they had the first aid kit there at the civil defense booth and so on. And it was lots of security guards and lots of media attention. So we tried to spin it in a so-called a positive way, and to be really prepared what could happen in the near future. And we talked about that another time, what happens right now in my favorite country, so to speak, but it's built on a foundation, on an idea. So that idea could be all over the world, and that's the foundation of America. But we see that's what's happening there right now. So it's interesting to hear about your story and how you have shared that in a personal way. And around here, around half time.
Oh, just one thing about that is that you see what I believe in is I think reporters and journalists all over the world, the ones who stand up for and they talk about the freedom of speech and the freedom of the expression, is that they're talking about only one aspect, and they're forgetting two others fundamentally important, equally fundamentally important aspects. And that is, so yes, I believe definitely in the freedom of expression. You have the right to stand up and to speak and speak your truth, but not if it's at the cost of listening. You have the equal responsibility to listen, and it has to be on the what I want to build is on the fundament of communication. When you go out and if you just claim that you have the right to say your speak your word or express your way in any way you want, then it's not okay if you do that and you come from that you want to diminish, or if you want to bully any other. If we do this at my best friend, she's a Muslim, and if I want to speak my truth, then about, say, for Muslims, then it's not to be at the expense of any others. I have to be willing and I have to be open to listen to the other side, and to be and wanting to reach out, because if I put myself in a superior position, then there is no communication. There has to be a willingness of communication. Otherwise, I think it's not your freedom and it's not your right to express yourself the way you want, not at the cost of others.
Yeah. And that is an example in what I talked about, my favorite movie and TV series about founding fathers, John Adams, the second president, and how he tried to communicate with all the colonies and to unite them and so on. So and also I could recommend to listen to an ex-Muslim and also a cartoonist and writer, Bosch Fastwin, that I interviewed several years ago around September 11. And what he have done, he won an award in a caricature drawing, and what happened around that, and that could be interesting to follow along and learn about.
Yeah.
So
I think the point is really where you come from. Do you come from an approach where you want to nail the other, where you want to be more superior, where you want to put the other down? Then it's not a freedom of expression. That's the platform that I want to stand up for. That's what I will fight for equal freedom of expression.
Yep.
Yes.
Good. Good point. So, what I will do a short, you could say, affiliate thing here with a book called Audible Trial, that you could listen to audiobooks. So, do you have any book tip there? I don't know if that's in audio format, but you could maybe mention something that you're reading right now or planning to read or have read before that you could think could be of interest or listening to. So audibletrial.com/ego netcast.
Yeah, Swim with Sharks with Joris Lydin. JORIS LUYENDIJK. Swim with Sharks. I found that very interesting with how he's a journalist and a reporter, and he started a blog and really curiously questioning about how the financial system, and he looks into greed and the financial system, and how come we have the system. And what it really comes down to is that the financial system is very fear-driven. It's creating a lot of istima. And so it will be interesting how the financial system will develop, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think it's part of also the global crisis and our identification with who we think we are.
Yeah. Personally, I want it to be more free and not more regulated. And it's interesting that you say about greed, and we could have a discussion and debate later on about that. I will have a guest there that I've tried for several years to interview, called Jonathan Hönig. And he has written a book about that greed is good. So that could be an interesting interview to listen to in the future if we plan that out.
Yeah.
And around then, again, half time, we have a concept here we call the trader principle that Miss Rand coined. Have you any thoughts about the exchange of ideas, products, services, and so on in your, you could say, oasis? How would that play out?
Well, what I'm the water, the foundation of the water should be free. I mean, it's really about how we are as humans and our rights as humans, and to take our rightful responsibility and awareness with just seeing that. But it, from this oasis, there will be many different creative aspects and projects, and we'll see how it develops. But I want to keep the water clean.
Good. And you have an idea about that, how to protect this, you could say, oasis also. You have talked with sheriffs.
One platform. I want to have a moderation site where we talk with both with rights and responsibilities of how we express ourselves, and to express with respect. So I have right now I have 2 sheriffs, internet sheriffs I call them, who will help me with keeping it clean, and that, but if you really want to if you really want to express your rage and go troll, there's so many other platforms where you can do that. So
Yep. That's good to hear.
That's also
in
right.
a way. Yeah.
That's also you're right, but not on my platform.
Good. That's safe to hear. So regarding future plans, because I know that you have lots of ideas and projects and things going on. Do you want to mention something about that? And also, who would you like to listen to in a future conversation and interview, or a special topic that you are interested in?
I would. I really like people who think big. So that
like
would
Tony
be
Robbins and so on. Yeah, I saw you had retweeted him on Twitter.
Yeah, Elon Musk. I would love
Musk,
to hear Elon Musk. Yeah, because he thinks big. He's the tech guy who thinks in a thrivable way, and I really appreciate that to think with so-called older technology, but rethink it and reinvent it in different and new shapes, and that is a thrivable. That is how we create a thrivable world. I think it's using and because we have so much technology and we have so much wisdom. It's just how we to express it in new and creative and fun ways. That is so important. So, yeah,
that's
Elon
good.
Musk would be fun to hear.
Yep. We'll put him on the list. See what we could do. It could be somebody else in that area. And anything else when it comes to like future plans you have, or something that you want to share? I know, of course, that you with this sassy thing you have
the sassy girls.
Plate.
It's well, I'm just starting that up right now, so that is a lot of fun, and it's really to present and to talk about, to be human. We are not perfect as humans. We're not perfect. We are in constant learning, and we are in up and down in Estimize, and it's part of being human. It's part of development. So we're not perfect. We are sassy.
Yeah, because that word is, when I looked in the dictionary, it have an interesting history in a way. Now it have become in a way more positive, you could say. But the roots of the word is mixed. But when I heard it first time, I was directly thinking about something positive and in a, as I said, both sweet and sour, you could say.
Yeah, it is.
So great,
fun, sassy.
Great to hear. Fun, sassy.
Yeah.
And talk about fun. What do you like to drink? What's your favorite beverage?
Well,
yesterday I had a margarita and Darjeeling Oolong, or Darjeeling First
really?
Flush. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's nice. I know you love tea, so of course I do love tea. When I was a kid, I could pour like a liter of peppermint tea, which I really love. But I love champagne. I love tea. I love coffee. Can be good eventually, or occasionally, but water is good.
Water is good, yeah. I talked to Chris Raymer. That was a follow-up conversation, and he said that And also Josh Elledge, that he drank lots of water. And I recently got this that I had in America, a Brita filter that you could pour the water into it and get it so-called more clean. Yeah.
Yeah, we have this. That's a thing that I really, really love about Scandinavia and Sweden, that we have such great water. Tap water is so good to drink just straight from the tap. And we don't need to. Really, really awesome, good quality water.
Yeah. But I like to test it out with this Brita filter if it will be any difference in taste, but it definitely will, even if it's a good tap water as it is, it's interesting to see how much better it could be. And that was interesting in the area that living there. In a week's time, they had problem with the water, so you had to boil it. And when I was thinking about this civil defense organization, that how little could happen and could how do you say jolt your daily life, and how you should be prepared for what could happen in the future. So, but always ending on a positive note. Do you have anything that you want to end with? Some thoughts, comments, ideas, whatever that you want to end with? Time flies.
Time flies.
Yeah.
Fun.
How could they reach you if they are interested in this kind of sassy project?
How can people reach me? Well, either on LinkedIn or on Facebook or on my Twitter account. But I'm not right now. I'm not so active on Twitter, but more on Facebook. But I have all three.
To joke with you, I will get you more active on Twitter.
Yeah, okay, good. Appreciate it.
and I want to learn from you about your LinkedIn experience, because I recently had a talk for small business owners and startups about LinkedIn, and I saw you had this premium version, so that will be interesting to hear what kind of benefits it is with that. So LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and in the future it will be your site also. Yeah, Instagram. Yeah, I saw that. Two beautiful pictures there.
Thank you.
So, any things that you want to say at the end? But something that you come up with?
I really, really appreciate to talk to you, and
same, likewise.
To reaching out like this, it's fun, and it's I'm happy to start now my life project, which I will dedicate the rest of my life to talk about and live for. So I'm really happy to talk to you.
Yeah, and I say the same. Best premises with that, Maria Dolores. And I will do a shout out to Anders at Whip Media. So, because you were standing or sitting there in the booth and reached out to me and we start talking. So it was great conversation that we will continue on.
Okay.
So thanks, Maria, and talk to you soon again.
Yes, definitely. Have a great day.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.